Starting Out, the show that takes you inside the exciting world of entrepreneurship and showcases the incredible journeys of new business owners and budding entrepreneurs. Join us as we explore the challenges they faced, the lessons they learned, and the triumphs they achieved. Get ready to embark on a thrilling adventure as we uncover the secrets of success on Starting Out.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today it's time for coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. Coffee conversations with the Biz Chicks. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terrilena from California Cover-Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. So welcome to the conversation.
Yes, and for all of you who are looking for Silviana, she'll be back with us next week. She's out doing what makes her money first.
Which is a Biz Chicks rule. Yes.
Right. So let me put this in Do Not Disturb. I'm hearing rings and pings and stuff, and I'm like, wait, that is not how I do business. Okay. So, Terry, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about executing a plan. What do you need to do in order to execute a successful plan? You know, there are probably things going through them. Oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. But do we have a plan? And, you know, failing the plan is planning to fail. Yeah. So you need that plan in place. And we're going to talk about some of the parts that make a plan work that you might want to consider if you're getting ready to start a new project or you're trying to wrap up a project that doesn't seem to be moving. You know, the project might be stagnant. What can you do to move it forward? So let's talk.
Right. So effectively, we're talking about how to effectively execute the business plan or a plan.
Exactly.
It could be a plan to go on vacation. You still have to execute it.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
It can be a plan, any kind of plan that you have. You need to execute it properly. So how do you, one, you got to have a plan. Okay.
That's a good start. And the other one is, even before you have a plan, do you know what you have in mind?
Right.
And then what's the subject?
What are we? Oh, let's say vacation. It's summertime. When the family gets together and they decide what they're going to do for the summer. Everybody gets a vote. The kids want to do this. The parents want to do this. Grandma, auntie, Uncle Willie, whoever, everybody got an idea what they want to do for this summer trip or this summer vacation or this summer, whatever it is. You have to have a meeting of the minds.
So it all starts in the mind. Okay, so you get a concept,
an idea, an imagination, a dream. Mine would be, I would be heading to the beach somewhere.
Mark says Mark, you cannot achieve a goal if you don't have one. Yeah, you can't hit a target if you don't know where you're shooting. Yeah.
So now we've got our incentive. We want to go. Did we decide to go to Madrid or are we going to the beach? What's happening? What did the family come up with? And we put it in terms of family, but you can put it in terms of business as well. What is it that you all decided, you, the company owner, decided, and then maybe you brought your team in to think about what's the next steps for this. But what is it that you are looking to accomplish? So step number one is a clear objective. What is it that we're doing? If that part's not clear,
does everybody who's a part of the plan understand the terms of the objective? Have you used $500 words? Are we all clear? You know what I mean? When you say clear objective, is it plain? Write the vision, make it plain, so that those
Plain.
people can run with it.
What are we doing here? Oh, we're going to Disney World, or we're going to
Morning, Dr. Tachi.
yeah, or we're going to Planet, what is it?
Universal
Planet,
Studios.
oh, Universal Studios. Thought there was something else. But anywho, we're going somewhere. Right? So there's a plan to go somewhere. Now that we got that part, we've decided that we're all going to maybe it's a business trip to gain more insight in whatever it is, to boost your skills, to do something. We're all going to go, and now that we have the objective, let's go. Okay, so
now
now
you
that
all understand the objective, isn't that what you said? A clear objective.
okay, so now what is defined specific, like Mark says, what's measurable? What is success? What does success in this trip look like?
Did everybody come back in one piece?
Or we've all decided that we're going, a successful trip looks like this.
No sunburn, no kids don't come back with their mouth poked out. Mom's
Which
actually
means
rested. Everybody might have a different
idea of what the success of that trip is.
So there might be multiple indicators.
So if this was a Disney World trip, I want to go to the Marvel Studios part of the thing. For some child, that would be a success. I got to go to Wakanda, or whatever is happening in Disney World or Disneyland. They were able to go there.
And someone might want to have tea with Princess Tatiana. I don't know.
Right. So the goals are measurable. When you're sitting down with tea with Tatiana, that is a successful trip for somebody in the family.
Exactly.
Okay. So the goals have to be defined, and everybody is, all the stakeholders in this are defining what their successful trip is. And then they all agree that we're going at a particular time for particular days. What else do we need to be looking at? These goals are specific and measurable. Tatiana, Wakanda, parents want to maybe stay at the hotel and get some rest while the kids are doing the Disney thing, because Disney has something where you can, take the kids and let them play while the adults are doing.
Oh, they have some activities, yeah. Yes. And it depends on what hotel you choose too.
Right. And I'm thinking that only might work in the hotel within the establishment.
And we've stayed at that Disney hotel, and they do have major activities going on where you can bring the kids, and they can stay a couple of hours and pick them up. Yeah.
And the adults can go do adult things, but they've defined a family vacation. And everybody in the family knows what it is that they're looking for as a successful trip. And the adults are looking at, okay, a successful family trip is we're all together and there's no squabbling and fighting. Okay. So now comes after we've defined our specific measurable goal, or what it is that we want to have happen. Now we got to have a detailed strategy.
I
When are
like
we going?
I like that. And a detailed strategy is what? An outline of what kind of actions we're going to be taking, what kind of steps, and
Well, yeah. So when are we going? What is the time frame? What dates are we going on
Mhm,
this particular um trip?
mhm.
Okay, now we've got the date down. We need to decide on a date. We need to decide on the mode.
Location,
Huh?
location.
Where are we going? Is it Disney World in Florida, or is it Disneyland in Los Angeles? Or Paris, because they got one there too.
They have
So
international.
right. So what's the location? What is the mode of transportation?
Hmm.
Because the bus may not be the most
Time effective or comfortable,
comfort.
depending
Yeah,
on how close you are.
right. So what's the okay? So we've got location, we've got method of transportation. What other part of that detailed plan
Well, we need a
needs?
hotel. We need somewhere to stay.
Okay, so we've got to book a hotel. So all
Or
of these things,
Airbnb. I mean, there are choices.
correct? Hotel,
Mhm,
Airbnb, detailed strategy. This
mhm,
means it has to be written out,
mhm.
thought out. And a lot of times in business, people are doing these things, but it's all in their head. They're not
Yes.
putting it down on paper. Okay, I want to I want to reach a certain customer or something, and they're just checking off stuff in their heads when it may be better to have it written down somewhere so that you can refer back to it. Uh, And same thing for the family vacation. Writing this thing down is probably going to be a lot better than trying to keep all the details in your head and you don't forgot the bag that has all the food. Did
Yes.
anybody bring
Yes.
the snack bag? Oh,
You
I
need
thought you
a
had
checklist. Can we
the
get a checklist?
checklist. Okay, so that's the detailed strategy is the checklist. So, and we're going to outline actionable steps and timelines.
Otherwise, you might forget the children, like Home Alone.
Okay.
You forget to count heads once you get to the airport. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you should have counted heads before you got in the car.
Yes.
When you got in the car, we got Billy, Sally, Ted, so and so.
Take
Okay,
roll.
did we count everybody? Um,
Um, here's a
hey,
comment from
Keita,
Mark. Good morning.
Mark said, "Oh, go ahead, Terry."
Up front, what are the strategies,
Challenges,
obstacles that I see? How will I overcome them? What have that? What is it?
spare tire in the trunk.
Oh,
So, are you prepped for the things that might happen? See,
hmm
that people don't talk about that. Oh, we're just gonna go. Okay,
the
wait a minute.
last minute stuff.
So what is it
Hmm.
that we need to do? What steps? What are my next steps for this? Um, and I'm working on a conference plan right now. Uh, what helped with the thinking about this?
Mm.
Chat GPT.
Ah,
Because I asked her the question how to create a conference outline based on this topic, and it wrote out the outline, and all I had to do was go in there like, okay, I don't like that idea, but I like this idea. and
hmm.
and I was able to put together an outline. What is the objective?
Yes.
Now, what is the strategy for this? what
Hmm.
what are we going to be doing? What's the what's
How
the
we gonna get
idea
it
that's going
done?
to get us to
Hmm.
Disney World, Disneyland, Disney something?
Yes.
Um, then you look at your resources. On
Okay.
step 3, what are your resources?
Mm-hmm.
Got tickets? Do we got plane tickets? Do we have enough points from our travels that we can use points to pay for these tickets? Is the money in the bank? Do we have everybody's water cups? What are the resources that we need to make sure that we're going to have a
You're
fun
going to
trip?
need ID to get through the airport. Um,
Oh,
mhm.
passports?
Passports, driver's license, birth certificates, depending on how old the child is. And do we have a rate of exchange? If we're going out of the country, do we have the right kind of capital? Do we have our credit cards? Are they acceptable in certain areas? Do they
And
take Apple Pay? I've been to places that don't take Apple Pay. So, that could be a concern. So you need to find out what is the rate of exchange, what's the method of exchange, and
mhm.
have you set it up?
So do you have the personnel? Because that's a resource as well. Is
Mm-hmm.
the nanny coming?
Mm-hmm.
Or in your business, or is your assistant coming? Do you have an assistant? Do you need to have a virtual assistant helping you? What you need to have all of these resources, time, money, and personnel available. How are we going to do we have everything we need to make this trip happen? Because
Did you call your bank to let them know you're going to be out of state? Because sometimes they will freeze your card because they think someone has, acquired access.
absconded with your card, and I remember I was home and they said, "Are you in Michigan?" I'm like, "Nope." And they shut down the card because I wasn't in Michigan. Now there was another time that I was using my card and I was out no, I was out no, I was in town and they said this does not look like your regular pattern, but I was trying to buy something. And I was like, yes, I did try and buy that. And they said, oh, okay, well, we'll turn it back on. I think, matter of fact, it was, when you go to the airport and they have the thing called Clear where you can jump the line. Oh, I
Yes.
love it.
Mhm.
So I had signed up for something for Clear and they were processing a payment, right? And they're like, we don't know who this is. Yeah, did you? And they shut down the card until I verified that, yes, I'm the one that initiated that, but they were going to shut down the card. I didn't see that one coming. But um but anyway, uh, do you have what you need to take this trip, to get on the plane, to get the kids to Disneyland? And I'm thinking if you're traveling with kids, you might need Clear Sand because you might need to jump the line because and I was there in time to catch whatever plane I was catching, but the line was like way, way, way back. I was like, let me see what these people are talking about. And I was like, oh, this is fun. And they just moved you to the front of the line. I was like, hmm, this is
I
not bad.
agree.
Who knew? You know, now I got to add the TSA part of, the pre-check so I don't so that you get moved to the front of the line and then you don't got to disrobe and do all that other stuff. So not disrobe, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
Shoes
know.
off,
Take your
belt
shoes
off.
off and put your shoelaces.
Right. So anywho, uh, and this happens in summer travels. It happens in regular travels, but if you're traveling for the summer, you have kids and you got stuff.
Car seats and strollers and extra luggage. And are you concerned about, where you're going to put your laptop? You got to carry that on. And that can be those things that weight can do a job on your shoulders. What am I going to do with this while I'm waiting? And yeah, so all of these things need to be taken into consideration. Dr. Touch says this is a great analogy. Thank you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we're on our way to Disney something, and so now we got the resources all together. It is there's nothing like getting somewhere. Now you got to go buy toothpaste, or you got to go buy a toothbrush, or oh man, I forgot my hair gel, or whatever resources are necessary. And then there's communication. We need to keep all the stakeholders informed and aligned. Okay,
Okay, so
people, we are leaving on Tuesday. At this time, we need to make sure your bags are packed before you, everybody have your bag packed at the front door. And there's communication and making sure everybody understands what it is. And communication is probably maybe the most challenging thing, because you have to maybe say it 2 or 3 times to get a point across. Dr. Tashi has a comment. She says, the interesting thing is sometimes I'll wait till I get there before I get certain things so I don't have to carry as much. That part. But it was still part of the plan, right? It was just planned on the future, uh, instead of planning it to take with you. And Terry, go
so
ahead.
part of the plan would be to allocate time on the other end to get the things that you need. So now you don't have the weight in your bag. I get it. Hmm.
Yeah. And or yeah, waiting until some stuff, uh perishable items and stuff, things of that nature, you just might want to get them when you get there. That's a good idea though. It is. So we're keeping our communication going. We're talking to the family. We're talking to, okay, are we calling Uber? Are we calling a cab? How are
Hmm.
we getting there? And everybody is uh we're communicating.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
my communications with Uber, now I can book a scheduled ride, right? I can
Yes,
book a ride. I can
in
book a
advance.
Uber weeks in advance and schedule a ride, which gives me some sort of security or comfort that on the morning that I'm supposed to take off, or the time that I'm supposed to take off, I have a ride coming, and I'm not going to be surprised when somebody says, "Oh, I'm not coming after all." Now you're scrambling to get another ride.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Um, so the communications with all part of the teams. Um, Mark has a comment. He says, as a child of a sometimes alarmist mother and a Boy Scout, be prepared. I overcompensate. I think it all through. And some people wing it. Ah, we'll just figure it out. He was like, wait, no. Mark is like, I prepare for everything, every little
I
detail.
feel you, Mark. I think I tend to over prepare too. I was like, okay, what if? I got a lot of what ifs in my bag.
And to your point, you plan for the unknowns. You plan, like, a lot of the times. I think I learned this from Zig Ziglar or Brian Tracy, one of the two. You don't put the stuff that you need for your speaking engagement or some important stuff. You keep that don't go in the bottom of the plane. That goes on a carry-on, like your laptop, your notes, or something. There's some stuff that does not go uh in the bottom of the plane.
Correct. Or you mail it in advance and you call the hotel to see is it there. You know what I'm saying? Did my
Hmm.
boxes arrive? Did you have box number 1, 2, 3? You know what I'm saying? So my handouts or my whatever it is I needed is already there, and I've checked to see that it's there and secure. Um, and then I have a backup jump drive because I don't know what happened to the box. Excuse me? You don't want to have that kind of conversation at the hotel.
And there's no need to panic or get upset with the people who lost the box, because you have a backup. Backups are good, but that had to be part of the plan, and that had to be communicated with your team. Make sure we have a backup. It's very interesting how the execution of a plan, that there's so many little parts to having a good event. Now, now that uh, we've defined what it is we wanted to do. We had a strategy on how we're going to do it, what times and things that we're leaving. We looked at our resources and made sure that we had the time, the money, and the people necessary to help us get this thing done. Then we talked about when we're going, how we're going, and we talked to everybody to make sure that we're all on the same page. The fifth step is to monitor and make adjustments, meaning you're watching the progress, and you might need to alter the plan if because the airlines do this all the time. A flight gets canceled. What did you have in place should a flight get canceled? And the kids are like, I don't know if I'm gonna see Princess Tatiana. What do you do?
That's gonna be a hot mess, girl.
So what's the plan for backup? So we got to track the progress. Is Princess Tatiana on duty today? Whatever is necessary, we need to monitor and adjust. Make some edits. Make some adjustments in whatever it is that we do need to do so that our outcome comes close to what it is.
Yes. Does everybody know where we're going to meet up? If we get separated, does everybody know what to do? What is the plan to find one another?
And who's doing what?
We don't spend hours looking for one another. Yeah.
Have you ever been to a meeting and there are several things that need to get done, but nobody knows who's doing what? We went to a meeting and we need to get such and such and such. And I'm like, okay, who's making a call to Disney World to get the tickets? Who's booking the Uber? Who's doing what? Even on a team in a business meeting, and there's a project that we're working on. I just made up a project management sheet for me because I'm working on a lot of different projects, and I just need to see what needs to be done. And then I'm like, okay, who can I assign this to, or whose skill set matches this?
That is the point. Whose skill set matches? Because just giving it, I've been in meetings where people say, well, you take this and you take that. And people are looking like, I don't even know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? I had someone ask me, well, you're standing here, you do my makeup. I'm saying, you might not want me to do your makeup. I don't wear a lot of makeup. I don't have a lot of experience. And you might come out looking like a clown. And they were like, oh, okay. So, and they looked around and took a different perspective about who should be doing the makeup. And they picked someone who obviously from their
appearance knew what to do.
Exactly.
So yeah, so who's doing what, and are the right people in place so that because you can't hold somebody accountable. Well, I told you I didn't know how to do what you asked me to do. Okay.
Or they'll tell you when you come asking for receipts, you never asked me if I had the ability to do this. And you never gave me an opportunity to decline or comment. You just moved on. And now the fact that it's not done, I don't know what to tell you except you got an emergency.
So executing a plan, it can be done, but it should be well thought out, like Mark said. We need to be looking at what is it that we're trying to do, what we're doing here. Oh, we're going to Disney World. Okay, what's the strategy? How are we getting there? Because, like somebody is like, I'm going to Disney World. How are you getting there? Who are you meeting? Where are you staying? All of these things need to be outlined. And then what resources are necessary to do that? What time, money, people are available, or what do you need to make it a successful trip? What resources? And then have you talked to everybody? All of the people involved. You talk to the kids who wants to see Tatiana, and the ones who want to go to Wakanda, and the ones who want to see Spider-Man. You talk to everybody, right? Because somebody's gonna have to wait. We can't go off every place at the same time. So we're gonna go see so and so first, then we're gonna go, because the lines at Disneyland are yay long. Or unless you bought in your resources, you have laid aside the jump the line fee.
Mm-hmm. Also, you could also assign one adult to each child so they can go in different directions, and then we meet up here at this assigned time to eat or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And if you're running late, you text me, let me know. So we'll
plan accordingly.
What kind of plan? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we check and make adjustments and edits and monitor it. Is this going the way we thought it was going to go? Oh, I see a speed bump. There's a detour. The ride is closed over there. California World is closed. We won't be able to do that ride. So what's the adjustment for it? And then we got to track the progress, and we adjust as needed. And then we assign responsibilities.
And make sure that who's holding the tickets.
Oh, I thought you had them.
Okay.
No, I know I gave them to Aunt Sally. No.
Or the tickets are on my phone and I have no idea where I set the phone down.
Mark says, I used to be in an improv company. Yes. And learn to roll with unexpected changes, directing your faith that is all going to work out. You'd be like, okay. And you have to stay calm when something comes up and it didn't go the way you thought it was going to be. You're like, don't get all out of sorts. Okay. Yeah, but this is talking about effectively executing a plan. What is this plan going to look like? How do you get it executed? Because you have ideas, but sometimes we have an idea and don't know where to start, how to get it going.
So true. So true.
But if you got, you know what? I think I'd like to go to Disney World. Okay. Now you have some steps on what you can do to get there. I hope this was helpful. That's the word I'm looking for. Leave your comments in the chat, or if you're watching this on a replay, you can leave your feedback in the comments. So thank you for tuning in today.
We just want to thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you all through the week as we help you run a profitable business that's fun to run. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.